Dr. Daniel Griffin.
And I'm Dixon DePommier.
And we want to welcome you to our Medical Handbook for Limited Resource Settings video series.
Yes.
I'm just going to give you a little bit about ourselves, a little bit about our series, and a little bit about the organization behind this whole process.
Sounds good.
I'm Dr. Daniel Griffin, and I am, I like to say, a physician scientist. I'm trained as an MD as well as a PhD. I do a bit of research, but a lot of my focus has been on clinical care. I came up through New York City, born and raised, so to speak. Went to medical school in New York City at NYU. Mm-hmm. And after training in internal medicine, infectious disease, tropical medicine, travel medicine, I've been practicing as an infectious disease consultant and had the privilege of practicing in many parts of the United States as well as many areas overseas. I've worked with a number of fantastic organizations. A couple of those I'll highlight. Floating Doctors, based out in Panama. I go there on a regular basis. And FIMRIC, Foundation International Medical Relief of Children, an organization that I've worked with multiple times in the past. Hopefully I'll keep doing that in the future. And I'm here with my colleague, Dixon DePommier.
I'm pleased and honored to call myself a colleague of Daniel Griffin's. Daniel and I first met in my role as a teacher. My background is that I've got a PhD in microbiology. I spent some time at Rockefeller University as a postdoctoral fellow. I spent most of my life teaching at an American medical school. But I've done an extensive amount of traveling as well, not as a physician, of course, but as an observer of the settings in which diseases are transmitted, unavoidable when you travel to Southeast Asia, for instance, or to India, or to Sub-Saharan Africa. And I've been to all of those places, privileged to be there. And I take that experience and I incorporate that into my teaching. And I love teaching, and that's what this is all about. Teaching clinicians to sharpen their skills at making a diagnosis without much else to go on except the patient, the presence of the patient, and knowing where you are. So I love doing this, and we anxiously look forward to presenting what we know to you so that you can incorporate that into your own lives and share some of the excitement that we have for this field.
Now, this video series, the limited resource medical focus that we have, it's not limited to people practicing in areas with limited resources. We do a point of trying to bring this to a broad audience. So this is something that can be used in training programs in developed countries. It can be used, I think, specifically or more helpfully for people planning on going areas abroad who want a sort of refresher on many of the common complaints, many of the non-communicable, many of the communicable diseases they might see when they go to these areas. It's associated with a handbook that people can take with them so they have a quick reference that might help guide them to the diagnosis and the treatment in these areas.
Right.
And we're hoping that going through this is going to be educational and helpful for all the individuals that either watch our videos or enjoy our book.
Indeed. Speaking of books, perhaps I should give a little bit more information as to who we really are. We're part of a larger group of individuals with the same dedication towards stemming the flow of untreated tropical and parasitic infections, basically, throughout the world. The authors on the textbook that we represent, the book is called Parasitic Diseases, now in its 7th edition, is the cornerstone for an organization that we founded called Parasites Without Borders. We use our textbook as an educational vehicle for the ideas that we espouse, and the other authors are Charles Knersch, also a physician with a background in travel medicine, Peter Hotez, pediatrician by training, especially in hookworm biology. He's now the dean of the School of Public Health at Baylor University and the head of the microbiology department there as well. He's a world-renowned expert on vaccine development for helminth infections. And Bob Guads, a good friend of mine that I graduated with at the University of Notre Dame, a medical entomologist, now retired as I am also. We think that Parasites Without Borders has a bright future. We think that this lecture series that we're about to present to you is part of that excitement, and that we hope in the following months that you're able to enjoy the presentations and give us some feedback as to what you think we left out or what we could have emphasized more, and we'll be glad to revisit these subjects at a later time to improve them, steadily improve them, based on your perception of how useful they are to you.
Well, I wanted to also finish with a mention of one of our new board members who joined Parasites Without Borders, Vincent
Yes.
Racaniello.
I'm sorry, I dropped his
Who's
name.
been he wasn't an author on parasitic diseases, the textbook, but he's been a great addition to our organization.
No question.
And he is a leader in the field of science communication.
Right, you might want to mention his podcasts.
Edutainment, as he likes to term it. And he runs a number of podcasts. This week in parasitism,
Right,
this week in virology,
right,
this week in microbiology,
yes,
this week in evolution.
correct.
Am I what? This week in vertical farming.
No, he doesn't do that one.
this
He
week
doesn't.
this week in immunity.
That's right.
So a whole host of resources that Parasites Without Borders is making available
Indeed.
to individuals, including bringing this lecture series and this book.
And the nice thing about this is it's all free. You don't have to buy any of this. You just have to go online and download it. It's yours. You can have it on your iPhone, you can have it on your computer, your iPad. You can take it with you wherever you travel. And the information is available 24/7, 365 days a year. So that's our goal, is to give you as much empowerment to convey the proper approach to diagnosis and treatment of diseases which are neglected for the most part in most medical schools throughout the world.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to your feedback on our lecture series, and hopefully this is something that helps you.